All right, perfect. If you will let me know in the chat that you guys can hear me, that'd be super helpful. I know one time I started and you guys couldn't hear me. Let me know in the chat, yes or no. All right, so as you guys know, okay, awesome. Thank you. I had started a team this year and I had reached out to so many agents like wanting insight and wanting to learn and take any suggestions that I could. And although that was helpful, I feel like I have totally different advice and things that I have learned through this process. So I'm excited to share them with you because I feel like I would have done things totally different. And I learned so much more after the fact, right? It's kind of like once you get in real estate, like there's no training necessarily that really teaches you how to handle certain situations until like you are in it, right? So last year, I've always been a solo agent, right? I've always had a transaction coordinator within the last couple of years, but I did 17 million myself last year. And I was like, all right, let's level up, let's get some help, but then I would be able to do more listings. And so I had the opportunity with someone who had reached out to me within our office that was a director of operations for a team. She had been with them for 3 years and she had decided to leave the team and wanted to come work with me. And I was like, great, you have experience. I don't have to train you. Let's do it. She's currently on the team, McCall. We just did like a happy 6-month thing for her on Instagram. And I love her. She's amazing, but I still would have done things differently. And especially if you're wanting to build it, this is all gonna be so helpful. I gotta text this person back really fast. Yes, 4:15, we are good. All right. Whew. Okay, I'm so glad I got that like done. Now I feel like I can really focus. Okay, make sure that you're muted. All right, so moving on. The first thing that I would have done is hired a virtual assistant. But to me, virtual assistant just felt very foreign. And I didn't realize all the tasks that a VA could do and how there are ways for you to get comfortable with this prior. So since hiring in the new year and having a team, I have done a lot of research about virtual VA assistants. And I also have some recommendations on websites for you that I saw over and over and over them voted like top VA websites. Because if you Google it, you will get hundreds and thousands of VA websites. And it's like, well, which one's good, right? So a couple things that I think are beneficial with the VA is that you could start them out part-time, and you could also start them out with just like project-based. So I think that's great because then you're not feeling overwhelmed with having someone come on full-time with training them, all the tasks that are involved with that, and then also the pay aspect of it. Doing the part-time, I think, is a good way to lean into it. And then since a lot of these virtual VAs are out of the country, they're so cheap. So I've seen like $5 an hour to $10 an hour. And since the new year, I've spoken to agents who have VAs and kind of just been getting some insight with them. And I find it so interesting, all the tasks that VAs can do. I know some of the people who are on the call do have VAs, but I'm going to share what a couple of the items are that that a VA could do for you. So let me just read this list because I was just like, what? This is incredible. Okay, so they can send mailers to your sphere of influence, research content ideas, update your website, schedule emails. So it could totally do your weekly email for you, SEO updates, post, update, and advertise on social media, track marketing analytics, data entry, MLS, CRM, reporting, listing presentations, coordination and updates, collect feedback from your clients, basic bookkeeping. A lot of them said like they can do all your bookkeeping for you, profit and loss tracking. Let's see, schedule showings and services, photographers, inspections, new agent recruiting and onboarding, update your CRM with notes on leads, prospecting and cold calling. They can circle prospect, expireds, FISBOs. They can follow up on leads, set appointments, set up meetings, respond to emails. They could answer incoming calls, record meetings, manage your calendar. They could do like other personal admin things like holiday cards, organizing family events, like all those things. And I did not realize that they were capable of all these things. So I thought that was really interesting. So in the midst of learning more about the VAs, I did reach out to several companies to just kind of see like, what is this process like? And ultimately, like I've gotten on the phone with people, they ask questions about myself, my business, what's important to me, what am I needing help with? What tasks do I need help with? Are we wanting part-time, project-based, full-time? So they really like get on the call with you. It's kind of like someone who's like in a manager role to get a grasp of like, who would be a good fit. So they are scouting out within who they have within their employees to see who would be a good fit for your business. And then I have the opportunity to interview them. So like, I didn't know about any of this. I don't know, maybe you're very well educated on this process, but I feel like it was just a really, really great learning experience for me. And that's something that I wish I had done differently. It was just started out someone part-time with a few tasks or a project, and then kind of worked up from there. Here are some websites that I had spoken to myself that I kept seeing over and over. I'm going to paste them into the chat if you want to write those down. Okay, do you pay the agency to get the VA? I never ended up bringing on a VA, but I did interview several of them and there was no cost with that. And I think I could be wrong, but I believe there was this one company that had mentioned that throughout like their training, I think it was like for a week or two, that you didn't have to pay them. Like you start paying them once they have learned the task and they are helping you and actually working for you, right? So I just thought that was really interesting and a great starting point. I think if you haven't dabbled with a VA yet, I think, researching these companies, start having the conversation with them, finding out about the pays. Yeah, so I think that's the first thing that I would have done differently. Now, if you're looking for an assistant and you want to bring somebody on full-time locally, which is what I ended up doing, I would highly, highly recommend asking for referrals. Ask other real estate agents, ask your sphere of influence, ask your brokerage, social media, post it on social media that you are looking for somebody, or asking them, do they know of anybody that is looking for this type of role? Okay, sorry, trying to check messages with this seller at the same time. Okay. And then I would revert to the online job websites because I did utilize this when I was looking for an assistant and for agents, and my success rate was not good and it was expensive. So I would look into the free resources, and I feel like they're going to be just better quality resources when you are asking for referrals, asking other agents, sphere of influence, your brokerage, and social media. So if you're looking for somebody, write those points down and start from there. Now, I have learned so much from the interview process. Oh my gosh. At first, like I did not know. Thank you, Casey, for mentioning that website in the chat. I knew that you had a VA and have had a really good experience. And I think you've been working with them for years. Okay, so with the interview process, like I didn't really know like what to ask, where to do it. Do I interview more than once? And I have learned so much, and I'm excited to share these things with you. So one thing that I have learned is whether or not it's an assistant or you're hiring a buyer's agent or a listing agent, to interview them more than just once or twice. This is what my process looked like initially. And that was, I would get on a Zoom, because I do think that, you can get a feel from somebody pretty quickly if they're not going to be a good fit via Zoom. And that way, neither one of us are having to go anywhere. So I did a lot of Zoom calls, and I was able to be like, X, this isn't going to work out, and move on. So I don't have to waste my time going somewhere and meeting with them. So if with the Zoom, I do feel as though it's very much like, I'm asking them questions. So I made sure that I did have a list of questions to ask them. And then, sometimes they would have questions for me at the end, sometimes they didn't. If I had decided that I wanted to move forward with them, I would meet them again at a coffee shop. And I feel like it's a little bit less intimidating. It's more informal. It gives them an opportunity to conversate with you and to see, like, can they hold a conversation? Like, that's very, very important with working with clients. And then it's a great time too to find out, like, asking them personal questions, like about them and their personal goals and what's going on with their life. And that was it. That's all I did. The Zoom call and the coffee date. And then if I felt good about them, I was like, all right, let's go. And I feel like, oh my gosh, no, now I have a strategic plan of what I would do moving forward, and I'm going to share that with you. And I feel like if I would have done this from the beginning, it would have eliminated a lot of headaches and stress. So from now on, moving forward, anytime if I was to get another assistant or was to bring an agent on the team, I would still do the Zoom call, because I do think you can weed out a lot of people that way and it's efficient. And then the second thing I would do is the coffee meetup, because like I said, informal, it gives them an opportunity to conversate with you. And it's really, really important to see if they can hold a conversation and ask them the personal questions. Then the third meetup, something that I would be adding on, is for them to meet a mentor of mine, or maybe the broker or another realtor that I respect. And I know that they're going to give me honest feedback and their opinion. If they, someone who really, really knows me, knows my personality, knows the goals of the business, so that there's another pair of eyes on this person to kind of run by your thoughts, to see what they think of the person. So that would be my third plan. And I have it written that this could be a meeting in the office. It could be a coffee meeting. It could be a lunch meeting, like casual, but still asking the questions. And then, there's something else I'm going to mention that's so good, but we'll move on. Okay, the fourth item is we're going to do a business planning. I feel like I've created a really easy template for us to start off of, and I would want to do like a activity with them, and that would be like the business planning activity where I'm helping, I'm giving them lead generation ideas or building off of what has already worked for them. And then we're also going over actionable tasks for this. And in past experience, I didn't do this till after the fact. And like some people couldn't even put a business plan together. And I'm all about helping, but if there's no like potential there, you're not motivated to come up with a game plan, then it's not a good fit for the team. So I would make our fourth meeting a business planning activity. The next item that I would do is have them come to an open house with me. So it would be an open house that I would be doing, I would be planning. I wouldn't have the expectation on them to do all that, but I would want them to be there so that I can see how they act with clients. Do they feel confident? What is their knowledge on the market? Did they educate themselves on the house ahead of time? How comfortable do they feel? Like, where is our starting point? Where is this person at? I think that would be like such great insight to have before they come on to the team. And then the last thing I would do is a mock listing appointment and mock buyer's consult. And even mock showings. So we have done this after the fact of hiring, where we went to the office. I pretended as though I was an actual buyer, and the agent came in and they had my buyer's guide, and I had them explain the process as if I was a buyer sitting in a buyer consult. I want to know, where are we starting off of? Even somebody who came onto the team that had done 6 transactions before, I would think is pretty knowledgeable about the home buying process, which after the fact, we realized she wasn't. So yeah. And then the whole showing process wasn't what was expected, or, not capable to do a listing appointment. So I think these are all really, really good points to educate yourself on, things to do within the interview process. So I hope that this gives you some kind of clarity as far as things to be doing and what that interview process should look like. But I do want to talk about what do we discuss within the Zoom, the coffee meetups, when I'm with the mentor? Like, I had no idea. And although I came prepared with questions, which were like questions that I had seen online, and I feel like they were very black and white standard questions, which I think are relatively good, but now I've just learned so much more of what I need to ask and what I need to share. And that includes making, like, for the assistant, or let me check my phone real fast and make sure there's not any fires. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, cool. Okay, so during the chat, whether or not it's an assistant, a buyer's agent, or a listing agent, coming up, like you as the person hiring the team lead, coming up with 30, 60, 90-day goals for this person. So you write down, like, what are your expectations within 30, 60, 90 days? And presenting to this person before they are hired to make sure that they realize, like, what the expectation is. A couple other things that I think is super, super beneficial, which I had learned from this book, which is amazing. More Money, Less Hustle. This book was so freaking good. But ooh, really good question. Okay, I'll get to that. So I think it's really good. This is what they mentioned in the book, is to share your 10-year vision, your 3-year vision, and your 1-year vision. Now, I didn't already have this like written out to be able to present to somebody beforehand, but now I'm working on it. And I think it's great to be able to share with this assistant or buyer or listing agent your 10-year vision for the team, for the company, if you have your own brokerage, the 3-year vision and the 1-year vision, so that they can better get to know you and your business and your goals and where the heck you're headed. And I think that it's good if they were to, and they mentioned this in the book, have them reiterate the vision. Like, are they getting it? You know, sometimes we tell someone something and they might take it in their mind as something completely different, right? So you educating them on what this vision looks like and then having them reiterate it, so to make sure that they get it. But then, do they want to be a part of this vision? Is this like, does it align with their goals as well? Or is this kind of like a temporary setup for them until something else comes along? I think that this would have been really helpful for me to be able to give people more of an idea of what my expectations are, what my goals are, what we stand for, you know, talking about core values. Okay, let's move on from that. So let's see. There's a couple of things I want to mention later. Okay, we want to create an application. If you actually create an application for you, and don't just have them send a resume, because it's just, you know, they're all super professional, they're perfect, they're reworded perfectly. And I think having them fill out an application, have them do 2 things: fill out the application and then shoot a 2-minute video telling us why they would be an asset to our team, and upload it. And if there's like another mentor that you want to view it, or you have another team member that you want to view it, that will weed out a lot of people from the start, because one, they might not fill out the application correctly. And it's like, if you can't fill out an application, come on. But if like they won't even shoot a video is a huge part of my business. And I want to make sure this person is comfortable and confident with it. So I really love the shoot a 2-minute video idea on telling us why they think that they would be an asset to the team. Also asking them, why is this job good for you? Like, after you've shared all of the things with them, why is this job good for you? What are your goals? And I think it's really important too to ask them, why did they leave their last job? Another thing that I would do is to get references and to call these past bosses and inquire on the employee and just get their insight. People always want to share their opinion. So I think that would be really beneficial. Okay, making sure that the person truly understands the role, that they are on the same page with the role, someone who actually wants the role. Like, are they hungry? Are they motivated? You want someone who gets up every morning to do their job. You can't pay or motivate someone to want it. And that's the thing with like agents. It's really, really hard to find good agents. I think, we all know that the success rate to being a, successful realtor making over 100,000 is very, very slim. And I think that there's this facade or this, thought to people that like real estate is easy and it's so flexible, and they don't realize until they get in it, right? And so, really figuring out like what motivates them. What are they hungry? I mean, do they not really have to work? Then maybe this wouldn't be a good fit. We all have different goals and expectations, so kind of cater this towards you guys. So does this person have the skill set to understand the role and what's necessary to succeed in it? Are they open-minded? These are questions for you to be asking and to keep as a mental note when you're going through this whole interview process. Are they coachable? Are they excited to learn from you? Let's see, clear about the direction that they want to go and why they feel like this is the right time for this position. Someone who has income goals that are in line with what the position will provide. Does this person have the time, the expertise, and the mental, physical, and emotional capacity to do the job? And do they have the time? Or will their life commitments consistently keep them from weekly hours you need from them? I think too, like with an assistant, make sure that you are writing down and take the time to write down all the things that you do within your business, the tasks, right? Like we're all doing a lot of the same things, but I think we each have different expectations. So like following up with leads, like we're all doing that, right? But do you expect this person to follow up daily, a certain time of day, weekly, monthly? Like really breaking down the expectations for each of those roles for them, giving them a job description so that they can see clearly what this job entails. Let's see if there was anything else that I wanted to mention about that. Okay. If you're going to build a team, I think it's really beneficial. It takes time, but it is crucial for the success of the team. And that is to be setting weekly, monthly, quarterly meetings and to be talking about goals. If you're bringing on an assistant, like they want to feel supported, they want to feel like they're working towards a goal. So keeping that in mind as the team leader of like making this person feel supported, making sure that they feel like they are obtaining a goal. I know for me personally, I need the goals. I need to know what the outcome is supposed to be. So maybe setting the time aside to come up with what those goals look like. So I hope you're taking notes on all these things. So as far as like the hiring process, I know a lot of times from what I've heard, a lot of people have hired like out of desperation. But I think that you should give yourself grace with timing on hiring, like at least 2 weeks, potentially a month, so that you're not rushing yourself into this and you're actually analyzing each of the meetups with them. You're asking them all the right questions and making sure that they are getting the vision. I feel like that 10, 5, 1 year vision is huge. Okay, let's see. I guess we can kind of skip all these things. Let me go to these. Let me know any questions that you have, and then we can wrap up the call. But how do you say no? I feel like I can help everyone. And what are the red flags from the interviews that looking back now? Yeah. So I had told people like after the Zoom, that was the first meetup where it was very, very quickly to tell if this person was going to work out. And then after the fact, I sent them an email, like a super nice email. And honestly, it was like, this just isn't a good fit right now, but potentially in the future. And I do feel like I can help everyone as well. And I think I was very quick to think that I could. And I did end up bringing on, I want to say like 4 agents, and now I have 1 because I realized that I don't have the time or the mental capacity to be able to train somebody full time. Like, we are busy, we have jobs, or we have other things going on within our job, and to train somebody, it's really hard. So I have one girl, Aubrey, who's our buyer's agent, that has just been so freaking phenomenal, that it's like, I see such potential in her, and I'm dedicated to helping her be successful in this business. So I'm still in that role of training her, teaching her, showing her all the things. But if I don't see that potential, if I don't see effort, we had expectations with the team. We talk every Monday morning. We do a Zoom every Monday morning, and we're going through each lead. We're going through goals. We're going through weekly expectations. And we're also giving them training opportunities, because I'm within Keller Williams and they have so much training. And there's this core program that newer agents are supposed to be going through that give a lot of the basics, like how to do a CMA, how to do a contract, etc. And it felt very hard for me to see potential in somebody if they weren't trying to educate themselves, or they weren't resourceful and trying to figure out answers. So like Monday, we're having this goal talk and task talk for the week. And if by Friday, I didn't see you doing any of those items, it's really frustrating. And, it's costing me time, it's costing me money hiring somebody full-time to help this person, because I have them a call, right? So her role turned into onboarding these agents and helping them as well and answering questions. So yeah, I hope that helps. So with the red flags, I think with this interview process that I would do now, I would be able to grasp more things. Like some of the girls, I don't want to like say too much details, but some weren't able to like hold a conversation, and it's like, when you're meeting up with new people, you need to be not talking about yourself. You need to be talking to that person. What is important to them? What's their motivation? What is their lifestyle like getting to know them, right? And so I feel like the more meetings you do, the more you'll be able to see that. And also like the business planning aspect, I think can be really telling with someone, like how truly motivated they are, how resourceful they are. And then with the open house, like they're getting in front of actual potential clients, actual buyers who are out there, and having conversations with them. And you can see like, are they knowledgeable on the market? Like, I feel like that's so huge, and a lot of agents aren't. Are they knowledgeable on the market? Are they able to, because when someone comes into an open house, like they are super excited to talk to that realtor. So I always feel like you have to break down those walls with them. And so I want to be able to see that someone is capable of doing this, or slightly has potential. I'm there helping and able to give advice and suggestions, throughout the business planning, throughout the open house. And if I don't see them take this information and try to improve, then it's really, really hard to see the potential. And same thing if you do the buyer consult, the listing appointment. If I give you all the resources, tools, I give you insight on how to do better, what you need to educate yourself. And if we do it again and there's no improvement, I wish I would have done all these things ahead of time. And I think these 6 points are really important. I think initially I remember thinking that I didn't want to do a lot of meetups, because I didn't want to, I don't know, I felt like it was a lot of time for the person. And it's like, if they want to be on your team, if they want the job, then they're going to do these 6 meetups with you. They're going to be excited about it. They're going to want to do it. So that's something that I had to like kind of change out of my mind. The name of the book is More Money, More Hustle. And she also has this like coaching program that I had a call with them today. It's called the Listings Lab. And now I'm going to get on a call with the author on Wednesday to discuss, because I genuinely love this book so much. I felt like if I was to write a book, like so many of the points in here are like things that I always say. I loved it. And I think that whether or not you're a brand new agent or you've been in the business for a while and you're trying to build a team, that this book is so good. Okay, so do you provide info about your team and offerings beforehand, or are you expecting all of the application and video before, or are you expecting all of the app and video before? Okay, so I do provide them info with the team. So with the Zoom call, it's just a Zoom call of me asking them questions. And then I'm wanting to see if I like this person and I see potential, then I'm having them fill out. McCall is sending them an application and the request for the video. And then in addition, which I believe this should be, the templates are in the course. In addition, it's the job description for a buyer's agent. A job description for the buyer's agent, they're presented with this so that they can see. Then they also see a copy of the contract ahead of time for the team, just so not wanting them to sign it, like they have not gotten the job, but I want them to be able to see what the expectations are of the team, and it's all written in there. And then we also have an onboarding checklist that they can see as well, so that they can at least have an idea ahead of time. It's like, I want them to have as much information about the team ahead of time so that we can truly figure out if we are a good fit. So they are getting all of those things pretty upfront. How did you find your girls to make the team? You all work for Keller Williams. So I had interviewed so many people, and they were from all different brokerages. The one girl who is with me now, who's amazing, rock star, was with Keller Williams, but I just made social media posts that I was looking for somebody. I put up an email address. I was like, inquire with hello@steviehahn.com, which was McCall, and she got them all set up. But we also did a little bit of a job description on Facebook. I did it on LinkedIn. I had asked other realtors. I had asked our office. I made a post in our Facebook group, and I just had people reaching out from all over. Love that. Do you think you'll only take on one new agent at a time from now on? That's a good question. I think for probably, unless like if someone comes to me that already has experience, really wants to be a part of the team, and for some reason it's multiples, I would do it. But I think right now it's a really good setup because I trust this buyer's agent that I have so much. I know when I give her a lead, we have a CRM and I can see all her notes and everything, all of our leads, all of our deals. And I know, I always tell them, I'm like, I need to know exactly what's going on because I'm giving them leads, and the buyer leads aren't internet leads. It's my sphere, it's my friends, it's realtor referrals. So I need to be able to go into our CRM, see this person, Susie, and know like what exactly is going on. Are you guys in the pre-approval process? Did you show properties? Did you put an offer in? Did you talk to them today? And she is so good with updating all of those things and is very organized. Whereas other agents that I had, it was a constant battle of like, what is going on? And I like hated asking all the time. And so I think now that I found somebody who's so good and I trust, she's handling all my buyers. I'm not doing one buyer unless they've been under contract with me for new construction, but she handles all my buyers. I trust her. She's so amazing. And I'm handling all the listings, and that's working perfectly right now. And I don't plan on changing the dynamic anytime soon, but I do think that like I brought on several agents and I thought they were all great and thought they were all going to be, I mean, some of them left, I had them leave because they weren't a good culture fit. So like, I feel like culture of the team is so important. I want us all to be happy, all of us to be thriving, no negativity. But anyways, so I think that maybe you'll have to go through that process too of hiring on several people just to figure out like who's your person, who's a good fit. And now I'm so focused on building up Aubrey and her business, helping her, teaching her, mentoring her, and making sure that she's happy. That's my focus. For a buyer's agent, what would the commission slip be if you provided the client? So right now, the way that it's set up is 50-50. If I'm giving her a lead, I get 50, she gets 50. If they bring on a client and close out, how much is the commission cut for being a part of the team? If it's her client, her lead, I'm taking 40% and she's taking 60. Now, I'm going to renegotiate that with her because I feel like she's so great. And I think like once she brings in like and does 10 deals of her own leads, that we would renegotiate that. Because for me, it's like, I need help with my buyers and I want you to do that. I also need to
then go back on the market versus trying to.
I need to make money too, right? So it's like, I need that 50-50 split, but if you're bringing in your own leads, I would be more than happy to take less of a cut of your leads, because I wouldn't want to lose this person who takes such good care of my buyers so that I'm not having to do it and I can focus on listings. So that should have answered that question. What CRM are you using? Totally. Yeah, any topic that any questions that you guys have, it doesn't have to necessarily be this, but the CRM that I'm using is Follow Up Boss. I don't use Command with Keller Williams. I had used Boomtown before, which is awesome, super fancy, great features, very expensive. And Follow Up Boss is so user friendly and it does have a good amount of features and it's much more affordable. I should be sponsored by Follow Up Boss because I'm all about it. And they also have like really good articles and topics and trainings in there as well. So, okay, well, that wraps up the last question. Unless anyone has anything else they want to ask, I would love to know your insight. If you want to message me after, post it in our Facebook group, tag me on Instagram. I would love to know your insight on this call, and I hope that it was helpful. I wish someone had given me everything that I had just mentioned in this call. I think it would have saved me so much headache. And if you guys end up utilizing anything that if you ever want to share any success or wins that you've had, I would love to hear about it. Okay, what about the Keller Williams split? So I pay my normal cap amount to Keller Williams, but this person on the team, the buyer's agents, they have a different cap with Keller Williams. It's, I believe, half the amount of what I pay. So that's kind of nice. And then they're either set up on a 70-30, 80-20, 90-10 cut with Keller Williams. So I think that should have answered your question with that. But if not, let me know. All right, awesome. Thank you so much, guys. I love this break in my day so much to do these calls. Like, it's nice to have like a breather and be able to step away. And next week is our last call. Next Monday, we're going to do a social media Q&A. If you have any other topics or any questions, like, come up next week, let me know. But you guys have a great rest of your week and I will talk to you soon.